How's everyone doing? Today I have a Blu-ray and DVD update with 10 pickups right here. If you've seen any of these, definitely let me know what you think of them. Leave me a comment down below and let me know which one of these is your favorite as well. First up from Paramount is the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital combo pack for Jack Ryan, the 5-film collection right here. And let me know what your favorite Jack Ryan film is. They have the new Jack Ryan, Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan TV show with John Krasinski on Amazon. It's like an Amazon streaming show. And I'm looking forward to checking that out, actually. I really like John Krasinski. He's come a long way from The Office. He shows he can do more rugged roles as well, not just comedic, some darker roles. I really like The Quiet Place. But he does great dramatic performances, too. And I'd have to say my favorite Tom Clancy one was Hunt for Red October. That's one I always remember watching. Same director as Die Hard and Predator, John McTiernan, I believe. And I like Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger, Some of All Fears. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited to check all these out in 4K. And yeah, I'm just going through here. Is it trying to find John McTiernan? All right, I remembered correctly. But I'm definitely excited for this. It's a nice thick case right here. And it's like a swing tray. Go ahead and show you. I'm sure there's going to be unboxing videos of it. I'll probably do an unboxing video of it once I view and review them all and can check out the picture and audio quality and all that good stuff. So I like the set. I think Paramount's been doing a good job with their 4K Ultra HD releases. And this is another exciting one. So many great films announced. Halloween. That's pretty exciting to me. A lot of people are saying, oh, it won't look great on 4K. Hush your mouth. There's plenty of older films that definitely benefit from the 4K treatment. Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. Evil Dead is another one. See, this is one of those things, though. Evil Dead and Halloween have been some of those movies that have been released so many times. And they know, as horror fans, we kind of drive the market for physical media. There's been just so many editions. They just know, as horror fans, we're going to repurchase them over and over and over. And I don't know how many more I can purchase. After the 4K ones, I think I'm done. I say that, but then something else comes out. But next up is Bound. This is from the Olive Signature series, which, this is such a beautiful release. This was the directorial debut of the Wachowskis, who obviously directed, they were the Wachowski brothers back then. They directed Matrix and a ton of other movies. Now they're both transgender women, Lily and Lana, I believe. So a ton of special features on here. There was already a previous release for Bound, and this one right here looks like it's going to be the definitive version. It's got the theatrical and unrated version, so I like the clear case as well, and just an overall really nice presentation-wise for physical media collectors right there. And both Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon were stunning in this. It's kind of like a modern LGBT film noir kind of thing going on, kind of heist. I remember really enjoying some of the supporting cast in here too. Christopher Maloney, his character was great and over the top. Joe Pantoliano, also really good in here too, kind of a gangster. But yeah, the standouts obviously were the two leads here, Jennifer Tilly, Gina Gershon. Yeah, I just remember being very sultry. Who doesn't like to see two hot ladies right there? Well, there's some people that don't, but I remember enjoying the heck out of it as a young kid, and hoping to, stir up those old memories again, rewatching this. I just remember so many kind of hot scenes with them in there. This looks like such a beautiful release too from Olive Signature series right here. I love this. The packaging, the design, the special features. Very excited for this one. So there you go. Beautiful looking edition. And once I revisit this one, I haven't seen it since I was probably like 16. And I have fond memories of watching this as a 16-year-old. But yeah, once I revisit it, I'll do a proper review of this. And the same for all these ones. There's a few in here that I haven't seen, and the ones that I have seen have mostly been a while ago. Next up is Abominable from MVD. I love what MVD is doing recently with their Rewind collection. And they have a whole bunch of other ones, different other collection type ones coming out too. I know even like Basic Instinct 2, Barbershop 2. Those are movies I'm actually looking forward to seeing on a Blu-ray. I know Basic Instinct 2 had a Blu-ray release, but I think it was out of print. Barbershop 2, actually, that's probably my favorite of that franchise. I actually really enjoyed that one, so I'm looking forward to that. But Abominable right here. Jeffrey Combs is in here. There's a few Dee Wallace. She was only in here for, it's Dee Wallace Stone, but she was only in here for a bit. Lance Henriksen was only in here for a bit. There's a few other recognizable people in here. And I'm trying to remember the lead actor. He was Lloyd Braun in Seinfeld. This guy right there. I think, is it Matthew McCoy? Is that who it is? I believe that's who it is. But yeah, this is one that I remember enjoying. I remember seeing it on the Sci-Fi Channel like forever ago. And I just remember it being an entertaining Abominable Snowman movie. And I love the ending. The ending's what always stood out to me. And this is a new one where it has a brand new 2K HD transfer. And I think they changed a couple things around in here as well. They added some scenes and they changed like the look. I think it was just the eyes. I think they changed like they made it like red glowing and a bunch of special features in here. So, and I like the artwork right there. And again, the clear case. It's nice added touches like this for physical media fans. And for these ones, they do like a poster as well. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo pack right there. But I like the poster too. I think that's pretty awesome. Little mini poster. But I remember when Arrow Video used to do a lot of those kind of poster ones and stuff like that, and now Scream Factory does it. So it's nice to see other companies doing it too. But this is one that I'm definitely looking forward to checking out again. Really good Abominable Snowman movie. It is a little campy at times, but I remember really enjoying this one. The guy is coming back after I think he loses his wife on like like climbing up a mountain. And he's in a wheelchair now, and he's kind of, almost has like a Hitchcockian rear window kind of vibe going on with him watching. There's like these girls across the way, and Abominable Snowman is like killing some of them, and he's trying to help them, and I don't know, he's like continuing to look after them and stuff. But then there's like a medical like person like looking after him, not really letting him do what he needs to do. So I like it. I had some kind of paranoid aspects going into it, some good thrills, decent acting. But I remember liking the overall look, and I think there was a good kill in here too. I think there was only like really one good kill, but it stands out, and I love the ending. The ending is something that definitely sticks with you. Next up is one of my favorite movies of the year, Woman Walks Ahead. I've seen a lot of people do like top 10, top 13 movies so far of the year. A lot of them are just not ones that I could see putting them on my top 10 list. So I really don't have a top 10 at this point, because I usually wait to the end of the year to do my top 10, because most of my top 10 ones are either limited releases or ones from other countries, and we don't really get them over here until the end of the year. So right now I only have maybe like top 6 or so that I could see myself making a top list for. If you like Hostels, I think you'll enjoy this one as well. Somewhat similar theme, dealing with Native Americans, hostility factor. And this is based on, I think this is based on true events, kind of like a biopic. Story of Catherine Weldon, who is an artist, and she wants to paint Sitting Bull. And I believe it's her, at the end of the movie they say that her painting is still hanging up in, I believe it's the North Dakota Museum. So yeah, she just goes there and has to deal with all the hostility of the military, as well as the townspeople, other Native Americans who've all been affected by the Sioux, and just dealing with everything, a big culture change as well. She's coming from New York City. I thought it was a really good performance across the board, but especially from Jessica Chastain. I like Sam Rockwell as well. He's finally getting his just dues, but he's been around for a long time. I really liked him in Moon. I felt that one was pretty underrated, but really good biopic Western, and some really good cinematography. That was one thing that really stood out for me, was the cinematography in this one. But if you like Hostels, check this one out as well. Somewhat of a similar vibe going on here, and again, great performances and cinematography. Probably my top 5 so far of the year. There's not a lot of great ones for me. Like the comic book movies, they're popcorn entertainment. I just can't put them. I don't think I've ever had a comic book movie on my top list, so that's just not for me. I appreciate them for what they are, but it's just I couldn't see them on being on a top list. And I know even the Oscars now, they have some kind of new Academy Award to recognize like a popular film. So I'm sure Black Panther is going to be, there's other ones that are going to be like Guardians of the Galaxy and Infinity War. Things like that are probably going to like box office. I can't remember the title that they have for this award, but I don't really care for it. I feel like it's kind of pandering to, you know, mainstream audiences and society and kind of, I don't know, pressure of that. I like the Academy Awards of how they are. They need to stop like pandering to all the politics and stuff like that. It's kind of bringing it down. I'm kind of tired of that. I know a lot of people don't care for the Academy Awards, but I like the history of film and the pageantry of it as well. But a big part of it is the history of it, and they can open it up a little bit differently. And I do want to see them recognizing more horror and sci-fi, but that's more of a genre thing instead of just doing mainstream. But I digress. Next up, this is from A24 Studios, Lionsgate. And everybody is loving A24. I don't know. I feel like they're a little overhyped. I like them in this regard that they try some unique ideas. But overall, people kind of blindly love them, it seems like. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of their popular films. But I do like that they try to take risks and do things a little bit different and unique. So I appreciate the aspect. But this is definitely one of my favorites from A24. And next up, another Lionsgate release, American Animals, which I did not care for at all. It's based on a true story. In fact, in the beginning, they say they take out the based on. It is a true story. Dun dun dun. And they actually show they have the real life people in here too. So they have the acting, and then they'll cut to the real life people that are involved in here. And these guys went away for 7 years. They were all, I think, college students, and they tried to steal rare books from the college library by them, and they got caught, and because they were just dumb young kids essentially. And yeah, I didn't think it's as, you know, wildly entertaining true crime thriller. I didn't really think it was that entertaining. Just because it's based on true events doesn't mean you need to make it into a movie. I don't feel really the need to do that. I don't think this one was necessary. The acting was decent. I feel like they did a good enough job for what they had to work with, but I didn't think the film or the events were anything that special that really stood out. They dressed up as older people initially, and that plan didn't really go, so they just kind of went in there as themselves, and it just shows how like sloppy and inexperienced they were, and wasn't really planned out. And it also talks about how the one guy, how he might have been setting a lot of stuff up, and it wasn't really how it went down. But I was disappointed in this one. I didn't think it was anything special. Pretty overall kind of just bland, and just felt like, why did they even make a movie about this? I don't know. Let me know if you saw it and what you thought of it, though. The trailer actually had me a little bit intrigued, and as well as the artwork choice too. I like that with the birds and the book right there, Darwin, and all the different paintings and stuff like that. I actually liked some of the imagery where there was the scene where the one actor, he looks like he saw like a flamingo. I thought that was pretty cool. And the actor again, Evan Peters, Barry Coogan, has done a lot of stuff recently, including Killing of a Sacred Deer. He was really good in that role, but he plays that same role and character, and I feel like in a lot of things that he's in, including here. At Riverdale, the complete second season. I have not seen the first season, but I have been wanting to check this out. So I might just jump into the second season here. This is from Warner Brothers. But it basically, I guess it's like kind of a darker take on Archie. And I remember reading the Archie comics as a kid, so I'm kind of excited about checking this one out. No digital copy in this one, but there you go. And this is let me see how many discs are in. 5-disc Blu-ray set. And one thing that I thought was interesting with the American Animals, there was no digital copy in this one, which I feel like is rare for like a mainstream Blu-ray release from a big studio. You know, Lionsgate, Warner Brothers, Sony, Universal, Fox, they always have, you know, digital copies for the most part, and that's like one of the few ones I saw that didn't. Arrow, the complete 6th season, and this has includes a crossover Crisis on Earth, X, and then all 4 DC crossover episodes. And this is season 6. Wow, I remember when this first came out. I can't believe it's been 6 seasons already. And another really nice release from Warner Brothers. This is a 4-disc set right here with a nice swing tray. And when the discs came loose, let me make sure it doesn't slide around in there. And this one has a digital copy in here. So I'll be doing an unboxing for this one coming up soon. Next up is Book Club. I like the casting here. I thought it had some good charm, but it felt rushed. I felt like they just kind of jumped into things, and it just felt a little bit too forced and rushed at times. I like the cast a lot, and again, it does have some good charm. It gets better towards the end of the movie. but I feel like it kind of just misses the mark. I like the concept too. It's basically about 4 lifelong friends who are, these elderly women, and they have a book club. And then one of the women, Jane Fonda, decides to, it's her month to choose, and she's going to do 50 Shades of Grey. So that's going to be the book. So they all kind of get absorbed into it, and they have their own relationship drama. Mary Steenburgen is related to Coach Craig T. Nelson, and they don't have sex anymore. It's been, I think they said 6 months. So she's trying to spice things up there, and that kind of turns to hilarity. There's a part towards the end of the movie where she slips Viagra in his drink, and he gets pulled over, and he has to get out of the car, which I thought that scene was pretty funny. But Candice Bergen, I thought the laughs weren't as good as the heart. Some of the laughs just felt a little forced, including that one, even though I did enjoy it. But Candice Bergen is basically a divorcee, and her ex-husband's getting married to a much younger woman, and her son is also engaged, and she hasn't dated in years. Then she goes on Bumble, I think it is, and she meets guys on there, including Richard Dreyfuss. A lot of all the cast members in here are really good. It's funny that, it's obviously focused around the women, but there's also a lot of great older gentleman actors in here too. I'm trying to remember them all. Craig T. Nelson, Andy Garcia, Don Johnson. I know there's others in here too. But yeah, Richard Dreyfuss, like I mentioned. But yeah, and then Diane Keaton, she kind of plays that same role in everything she's in. She's a widower, and she's trying to get back out there, and she meets Andy Garcia, and I like that one a lot. And I like the cast members in there too. The daughters, Alicia Silverstone's one of the daughters. Yeah, I thought this had a lot of charm, a lot of heart, but it just kind of misses the mark. Felt a bit too forced and pushed and rushed. I felt like if it had a little bit more time, even though it is in 103 minutes, I felt like if it was 2 hours long, it might have had a little bit more time to develop and fully get what you need out of there. I really like the concept, though. I like what they're trying here, and they're, in their twilight, essentially kind of reimagining and refining themselves. Jane Fonda was years ago with Don Johnson. They had a great romance, and then she kind of just sleeps around, doesn't have any kind of emotional attachments, and he comes back into her life. So that's all the different storylines there, but it was decent. I think a lot of people will enjoy it. For me, just I wanted to like it more because I liked a lot about it, but it just misses the mark for me. It is a nice release, though, right here from Paramount. And it is a people's pick right there, people pick. So yeah, it's 50 Shades of Grey. That's a funny headline on the back. Next up is The Watcher in the Woods, which is a remake. I remember this, the one from, I think it was 1980 with Bette Davis. So yeah, it's basically Angelica Houston's in this one. From what I remember, they're going to the British countryside, and there's a ghost. It's a ghost movie. They're trying to figure out what happened to this missing girl. And I remember being pretty atmospheric, so the original. So I'm looking forward to checking out the remake. I like Angelica Houston. And next up is Truth or Dare, not the popular mainstream one. This is a release from Cinedime. And it looks very similar concept, though, where these people are playing Truth or Dare. And if you don't do it, there's dark consequences. So I think the scene in their back looks pretty gripping. So I'm going to give it a fair chance. There's a lot of movies where I feel like companies are trying to take advantage of what's popular and in the theaters right now. Asylum used to do that all the time. There's a popular mainstream movie in the theaters. They would name it something very similar to kind of trick people into watching it. Even this one right here, it has the same title, but if you just look, you can see that the poster artwork is different. There's nobody famous or well-known in it. You can tell just by looking at it, it's different. Especially if you compare, if everybody's got smartphones, you can look up stuff online. You can see it's two different films, but essentially the same concept. It looks like bunch of young kids playing Truth or Dare, and crazy dark things start happening. But I'm going to give it a fair chance. I'm going in with an open mind. So there you go. Those are the 10 pickups right there. If you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them. And let me know which is your favorite from this lot right here. Hope everybody's doing well. Take care.